afternoon, Camp Davy Crockett.
I'm Hayden.
And I'm Zeph.
And welcome to the Camp Davy Chronicles.
Welcome back, Hayden. It's been
an entire month.
It has been a month. Before we get started today, I have brought back information from the last episode about which came first, chocolate milk or milk chocolate.
Chocolate? Is that the McDonald's chocolate?
Yes, that's the third one.
Yeah, that should make that.
Anyway, which do you think came first, Hayden? What's your guess?
Probably chocolate. Well, yeah, probably chocolate milk.
What do you think? Let us know in the comment. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Because we're about to tell you, so you would already know the answer. Well, Hayden, you are correct. Yeah. Chocolate milk was invented. Actually, there are several different estimates about what counts as chocolate milk and when it was first invented. But the one that I found was that it was invented around 1689.
Okay.
Some say earlier. Milk chocolate was not invented until 1875. So that's about 200 years later.
Right. I assumed that because milk, the way chocolate milk was made, was that milk fell onto chocolate. that I don't know. They were like, maybe we should combine these two opposite. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Wait, that's how milk chocolate was made, right?
No, that's how chocolate. We just had this discussion last
well,
episode.
I forgot which one it was.
Chocolate milk was made by a scientist. I don't know that he was a scientist. Claims to be a scientist now. He had a glass of milk that he was like doing some experiments with, and he had a bar of chocolate that was just sitting on his desk, and he spilled it, and it fell on the chocolate. And I assumed that he was like, "Oh, I can't waste this," and then so he drank it off the chocolate bar.
Right. Okay.
And that's how chocolate milk was made.
Okay. That might be the story that was the 1689 one.
I don't know. I can't imagine.
Because I looked it up a month ago and wrote it down then. So
I can't imagine that when you spill milk on chocolate, that it sits there long enough to like absorb.
Yeah.
So how long was it sitting there before you drank it?
I feel like that would make more sense as a story for milk chocolate.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he would eat the chocolate and be like,
this is milk. Yeah. I assume, does milk chocolate have milk in it? I mean, I assume it does, but no. Some things, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Anyways, let's get on into this.
Hayden, what's been going on at camp lately?
So we had a work day, and that was fun. If you weren't at the work day, it was council-wide work day, and so shame on you. But it was a lot of fun.
We forgive you, though.
Yeah, sure. It was a lot of fun.
Hold on. We got to make this like official fun. Camp news update. Okay, what happened at the work day?
So at the work day, we got a lot of work done. There was a lot of obviously the loggers have been there, and so they needed a lot of the tree limbs picked up and stuff so they could start mowing. We did a lot of the range work. We reopened action archery.
Oh, wow.
Which is a lot of fun.
For like the 5th time.
Yeah, well, this one is actually, I say that it's new and improved.
Okay.
Because we actually got rid of a lot of the targets. We've got some new stuff, and so it's pretty neat. You can only get better once you start making it.
Sure.
And then, of course, the action or the cowboy action is being built probably as we speak.
Oh, that's a different thing.
Yeah. Yes.
What's the cowboy action?
Cowboy action is a large range that is between shotgun and archery that will be unveiled at the council shootery. It's the jamboree thing for shooting. If you didn't get the two there.
When is that?
Yes. I'm not sure.
Great.
It's in like 47 days. I know that. So from today. From
the 24th.
Yeah. So when is that? It's in April, I think.
Okay. It's in April sometime. Yeah.
But it's a council.
You gotta love how the Camp Davy Chronicles always has the most up-to-date exact information.
Yeah, we just give you date counts. But yeah, if that'll be the moment that it's fully unveiled to everybody.
Okay.
And so they will be able, and the day, we're going to be doing literally everything. There will be Cub Scout archery shooting, Boy Scout archery shooting, BBs for Cub Scouts, rifles for Cub Scouts. Action archery will be open.
Wait, Cub Scouts can do rifles?
No, BBs.
Oh.
What did I say?
You said Cub Scouts twice.
Oh. Well,
anyway.
Boy Scout rifles, Cub Scout BBs.
Scouts BSA.
Wrist rockets. Gosh, okay. Wrist rockets will be there. So literally anything that shooting sports offered offers will be open and you'll be able to do it. And, obviously if you're old enough or
anything that they've ever offered at any scout camp in history.
Well, no, at
you
our
heard it here first.
No. So, but yeah, it's going to be really fun. It's going to be an entire day of just shooting and enjoyment. So if you're not registered, you need to register soon.
Definitely.
And when you register, though, it'll tell you the date. So
I feel like you should probably check the date before you register just to make sure that you're available.
No, just commit. You gotta commit to it and just do it before you check the dates. That way, put it on the calendar and see what happens.
You know what else is coming up in April?
No.
Staff.
Oh yeah,
weekend.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's when the staff meets.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. You're not even going to be there.
I'm not going to be there.
Yeah, you act like you haven't. See, it was the whole thing. Put it on the calendar.
Yeah,
see
exactly. But we are still short some staff members, I believe.
Yeah. So, we need some more.
Yeah, if you're listening to this and you're not on staff and you could be on staff, you should be on staff. Yeah. So talk to JD or Dale or somebody and get on staff.
Yeah. The most important thing is you got to get an application in.
Yeah. There is an application. We've shared the link to it a few times. So find that and get on staff. We still need an aquatics director specifically.
Yeah. So 21 plus.
Yeah.
And that's
if you're over 21 and you can swim, then apply.
Yeah, swim better than most, I would assume. Because I assume that you don't just want like a beginner swimmer down there trying to.
What I mean.
Right.
If you can swim, like you can swim.
Yeah, like if you have a pool at your house, you were in it every day, that's probably qualify. Anyways.
Anyway.
So this episode, I think we're going to introduce the new questions for the summer.
Yes, we have some new interview questions. Some of them we asked to our guests at the end of last year. Okay. Some of them are completely new questions that have never before been asked in all of history.
we came up with these just for us?
At least on the podcast. They've never been asked before. And so just like last year on our second episode, I think, where we interviewed each other, we're going to interview each other again with new questions and workshop them kind of. And if some of them end up being just really stupid questions, then
we'll get rid of them.
We might change them before the summer.
Yeah. If you have any question ideas like we did last year, we're taking suggestions. So you can literally comment anywhere that you can comment on Instagram. Send us an email
on Camp David Chronicles. Don't go comment on a random YouTube channel.
Yeah, just random questions. Don't do that. But yeah, we take question ideas, or if you see us out and about and say, "Hey, I have a question idea," just tell us, and we will consider it.
What is your favorite flag in the world other than the U.S. flag?
Tennessee flag.
Oh.
Easy. It's not that hard.
I just came up with that question out of nowhere. That wasn't written down, but that was an example of a question that you could ask us. But now I already asked it. So. Yeah. By the way, the correct answer is the Welsh flag because it has a dragon on it.
Oh, isn't it like the Swiss flag? It's a big plus or something. Yes. Yeah, okay. Okay. So I think last time I went first getting interviewed by you. And so
that sounds right.
I think this time we'll reverse it, unless it wasn't like that, and then we'll just do the same order.
So you don't have the questions written down, so I'm going to have to pass you so I'm going to cross out the word of the day.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about
so that you can't see it. It's okay. I'll remember what it is.
Okay. So, what is your name? In case people don't know.
My name is Zephaniah.
That's it? That's the whole name? Okay. Okay, Zephaniah Wells.
Yes.
What is your position this year at summer camp?
These aren't the new questions.
Yeah, I know, but you got it.
Okay, I'm the ecology director.
Okay, that sounds exciting. Have you ever done that before?
Yes.
Okay. An important question, since you're the ecology director and you don't know, what do you want to do, or what do you want to be when you grow up?
What do I want to be when I grow up?
Just asking 40 different ways.
Yes. So, I like to say that my dream job is Camp Davy Crockett.
That's true.
And so, I don't know how realistic it is, but, some people are like grown-ups and still working there. Like JD.
Well, he's got a job that allows it. He's got a second job.
He does. Yeah. That is not his only source of income. Right. He is also a high school teacher, which funnily enough, is something that I might like to do someday. So that's what I'm currently working towards.
Interesting. What kind of teacher? If you could teach anything, any subject to any group of people, what would it be?
English literature specifically.
To who?
To. I mean, I don't know. I think right now I think that I want to teach high school.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like high school would be. I don't know that I could deal with younger kids for an extended amount of time. For a long time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. This is an interesting one. Which everything's interesting apparently.
Okay.
This is the one thing I was trying to get rid of this season. Anyways,
what you don't want it to be?
No.
Oh, okay.
Saying interesting.
I was trying to make the podcast less interesting. You know,
that's what I was trying to do. So I am interested.
Okay.
What your answer to this is? Okay. What are your biggest pet peeves? You pre-think about this?
No, this won't be surprising to you, which I actually didn't pre-think about this, but it just occurred. Well, I didn't pre-think about something else, but then it just occurred to me one of my biggest pet peeves is litter.
Well, okay, that makes sense.
You definitely know this about
everybody.
But I cannot stand to see pieces of trash on the ground. So, you who will be at camp this summer, help me get rid of it. It's a constant problem.
Yeah, it's true. It's not that hard to pick up either. You take literally almost everywhere you're walking, there's a trash can.
Yes, it's true.
So even if you're contributing to the litter problem, then you shouldn't.
Yes.
So is that it? Is that your only? I mean, I'm sure there's other stuff, but that's probably that's your biggest one.
There's definitely other things, especially like spelling and grammar stuff. Because
that's not good. Is that how you?
Oh man. You know what? A random, very niche, grammar thing that has fairly recently started to bother me is from whence. People will say, return this to, from whence it came. Go from whence. No. People don't, normally say that. But, in, fantasy stuff or whatever, when they're trying to sound fancy, they'll say, from whence it came. That is repetitive because the word whence means from where. And so it's like you're saying from where it came.
Yeah, I've never heard that in my life until now.
Okay, well, you don't pay attention.
So, okay. So moving on. What embarrasses you the most?
What embarrasses me the most is probably... It would be when I say something in front of
that's the entire story. Cut you off there.
Yeah, when I say something in front of a group of people, especially like in teaching a class, or even if it's on the podcast and I don't catch my mistake, heaven forbid, that is obviously not true, and I know that it's not true, and I mess up the fact, and then someone calls me out on it, and I'm like, I totally knew that, and then I look like an idiot.
Yeah, see, I don't care.
Yeah.
You shouldn't care that people think you're an idiot. just
so
go with it.
At my taxidermy class at winter camp, I always have to think about this to make sure I get it right. I said that I said that a cow or I asked how many. I actually asked this a question and I said no, and you told them the right answer, but that was the wrong answer, and they were right because I always get this backwards in my head. So a cow has 2 toes, and a horse has a single toe.
Right. Okay.
Hoof.
Yeah, because of horseshoe.
Yeah, exactly. It's obvious, and I know this when I picture their feet, but I always get them backwards.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
So what was the question that you asked?
I asked how many toes does a cow, one or the other, and I said no, it's the other one, and they're like, wait, no, you were right, and then I looked like an idiot.
Yeah, I'm sure all those kids were like, you're an idiot. You know what they were sitting there thinking? Why don't cows have cow shoes? If horses have horseshoes, why don't cows have cow shoes?
Yeah. Anyway,
that's a real question. I mean, I need to answer that. Okay, so along the same line of teaching, where you teach. At the ecology porch most of the time.
Yes.
It's also attached to the trading post. I don't know if you knew that.
It is.
So what is your favorite trading post snack or snacks?
This is a really good question. I would say...
I feel like you came up with that. So this is
probably. I don't know. Snacks, so not a drink specifically.
Well, I mean, I would say if you want to, I wouldn't say that. Right. I wouldn't count that as an answer.
Yeah.
I would just.
I think my normal go-to is a can of Dr. Pepper. Okay. But I'm talking a snack like a candy bar. the Zero bar. The white chocolate. It's a white chocolate bar with peanut butter. It's really
I don't
good.
like white chocolate.
I love white chocolate, and you are dead to me. I'm just kidding.
Which came first, the milk chocolate or the white chocolate? No, okay, we're not going down this path.
I don't know. Find out next time.
No, forget. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So a Zero bar, would you eat them together, or is that something that has some? Because sometimes, like when you're drinking a soda,
yeah,
like it makes things taste different, and so I find that with chocolate a lot.
Yeah, I think I would eat those together, but I feel like Dr. Pepper might pair better with like a Twix or Milky Way, like something like a milk chocolate. But I think it could go fine with the Zero bar.
Yeah. Okay. So if you could have any superpower in the entire world, or outside of the world, I guess.
Well, most of them aren't real.
Well, that's why I said outside.
Okay.
What would it be and why?
Okay, so I've recently come up with a new answer to this question.
Oh, man.
That I really like. I would it wouldn't be super effective as like a superhero, like fighting crime or whatever. Okay. But if I could have like, a supernatural ability, I would want the ability to be able to remember perfectly everything that I've ever read.
See, I don't know. That would be a lot less for me than it would be for you because I don't read.
Because then, I would be smarter.
I guess that would be because like a lot of your professors and stuff have like slides and stuff, and so you'd be able to remember all that. I guess there's more than just
I would never forget what I learned in school, or I would never forget it would be.
I feel like that's cheating the system.
Yeah, but it's a superpower. That's what they're for.
Who's gonna call you out? I doubt anybody's going to come up and be like, "Do you have a superpower?" So it'd be really funny if they did.
But it also could be useful as like if I was just like part of a team or whatever as like a superpower, because I could just like remember like codes and passwords.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you'd be really good at escape rooms.
Yeah.
Just always remember. Okay. And then this is a two-parter.
Okay.
That's what they call them in the industry. What is your favorite class that you've taken at camp? And then we'll ask the second question after you answer this one.
Okay. My favorite class that I've taken at camp.
We're assuming that you've been a camper.
Yes. If you haven't, then this part of the question would not apply to you. So I'm kind of between two, but I think my favorite was environmental science with John Ford. The other contender being Indian lore with John Adams.
Oh,
those are both really good classes.
You can't take that one.
Yeah. But
you said two.
Yeah, okay. Environmental science is my favorite one.
Okay. So that's what you've taken at camp.
Yes.
Do you remember when you took that? Like what year?
I don't know, but I know that I kind of took it twice because I sat in on it again my first year on staff because I was free that block and I was like had a class right after it or something in the same place, and so I was like, are you teaching that class this year or is that I am teaching that class.
Are you going to make it just as fun as his?
No. I mean, I'll try, but
Or you taking it twice? It seems like a pretty bad excuse to not make it fun.
I will. If you take environmental science this year with me, it will be fun.
Okay.
I don't know that it'll be as fun as John Ford, but you haven't taken it with him, so you won't know.
Yeah. Okay. We'll find out. And so on that other side of that, being on staff, what is the favorite class, or what is your favorite? Yeah. What is your favorite class that you've taught?
Okay. This is a much harder question, actually.
Yeah. I would assume for somebody that's taught a lot of merit badges.
Right. But I would say. So I'm kind of between. I can kind of cheat the answer for this because I'm between reptile and amphibian study and insect study, but I used to teach those together in the same class, so that would be my favorite. But I feel like I did like insect study more when it was by itself.
Okay,
but it's whatever semantics. I like that class.
Okay, so you just like the study of things.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. So cool. And that was the last question.
Wow.
So yeah, I know. So we'll do
I think some of the questions will still be the same from last year, but we try to change a good few of them. So
we'll do our intermission. And we'll do our joke and our word. Yeah. Okay. So is the joke first? Right.
The word is usually first. But
okay. No, you're good.
Okay. So the word. Do you not have a joke?
Well, no, I gotta find it.
Okay. The word of the day. This is a word I learned over spring break. It is steez. Do you know what steez means?
I do not. I don't know that I've ever heard that.
Steez stands for style and ease. And it is an entire lifestyle. It's not just about like how you look or how you act or whatever. The steez is something that defines you. Mm-hmm. Okay. How would you guess that you spell steez?
I don't even want to try.
Okay. So, I guess that you would spell it like S-T-E-A-Z, you know?
Okay, yeah.
That would make sense with the origin, style, and ease. But no, it is S-T-E-E-Z because that's a much more steez spelling. Also, it's even more steez if you put S-T capital E lowercase e-Z.
Wow.
That's how you know someone is really, really steez.
Yeah, man.
So be sure to use this to describe everyone that you think exemplifies the qualities of steez.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool word. Okay, are you ready for the joke? This isn't normally my this isn't my funniest joke. We've got to start getting rid of some old jokes that I've come up with. So why?
You know, all the other ones are just comedy gold.
Oh yeah,
every time.
Yeah. Why can't you play hide and seek with mountains?
Because they can't hide.
Because they're always peeking. Oh, see, great. Comedy gold.
Thank you, Hayden. Thank you for that.
Okay. That's it.
All right. I wonder if steez is in the Oxford English Dictionary.
I'm sure it is. There's a word there somewhere. It's only got like
if
at
not,
least 10 words in it.
What? Okay, yes, it does. Anyway, your turn.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've never heard these questions before. And so
I feel like no, because you were interviewed first last time. I was gonna say I feel like you said that last time.
I'm sure I did anyways.
Yeah, probably. So Hayden, who are you?
I am Hayden Guevara.
Wow.
Yeah, so you said my both names right there.
Yeah.
This year I will be acting as the shooting sports director.
Oh wow, that's new.
Yeah, I know it is new. I'm excited to take on the challenge. It's gonna be fun. No, that's about it. That's who I am.
And what do you want to be when you grow up?
See, this is a hard question for me because I have no clue. Kind of like Greg and Anthony and Dale just never want to grow up. Right. It would be fun. I do agree. It would be nice to have some kind of life where I can continue doing stuff with camp because obviously camp's the best. But logistically, that's probably not going to happen just because, you got to move on at some point.
Yeah.
So
it's about the dreaming.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah. But my passion is photography and videography, and specifically with sports and stuff. And so it would be nice to be able to get on with the sports team, do freelance work where you're doing it, taking pictures or running cameras for like the broadcast.
Wow. You're getting experience right now running.
Yeah, that's true. This is kind of what this was about, is getting some experience on editing and different things like that. So that's just a behind the scenes of the podcast. But yeah, so that's the kind of stuff I enjoy and what I would like to do.
Speaking of the podcast, just to interrupt you real quick, shout out to Jennifer who gave me a donut today, and Hayden didn't take one because he is an ungrateful person.
I don't like donuts with stuff on. I like just plain donuts.
You don't even like the strawberry glazed donuts, like the pink ones? So
no, I only like plain donuts.
Hayden has a problem.
Oh well.
Anyway.
Okay.
What are your
interviewee and
I know. What are your biggest pet peeves, Hayden?
My biggest pet peeves.
Or one.
Yeah. So I don't really know that I've ever sat and thought about, what my biggest pet peeves are. My biggest thing is that if you're in a room with somebody and there's multiple people in a small room. Okay. Especially at night, and you're sitting there screaming at the other person. A lot of people do this, and they talk very loudly to someone who's this close. Yeah. And everyone can hear them, and it gets very annoying very quickly to me. So don't scream that loud, or talk in an inside voice.
Yeah, inside voices.
Yeah, you don't have to whisper, but also don't scream. Yeah. Because I find often what happens is I'll be talking, and someone else will go to talk, and so they talk a little louder. Yeah. And then it just keeps going.
Oh, yeah. That happens all the time. Yeah, especially when there's two different groups in the same room. If you're playing a game over here and someone else is playing a game over here, and then you both just keep getting louder.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah. So that's a good pet peeve. Yeah. What embarrasses you the most?
Embarrasses me. See, the good thing about me, I think this is a skill to have. Okay. Is growing up, my mom tried to embarrass me a lot. Because, she's just that way. And the people that I hang out with, are all constantly trying to embarrass you. That's just that's because it's one big family at camp.
Right.
trying to embarrass the other person. And so I don't really get embarrassed often.
Okay.
When I heard this question, I specifically remembered one event that the last time. I'm sure I've been embarrassed, since then. I just don't remember it because I try to block those bad memories out of my mind.
Okay.
But the one I remember was crossover when we crossed over into the troop. Okay.
That was like 10 years ago.
Well, yeah, like I said,
that was 10 years ago,
yeah,
man.
But I specifically remember this moment as one of the most embarrassing moments of my life.
Cool.
We were sitting at the not that there's more to the story. We were sitting at the table, and it was me and my family. I don't know. I was sitting there, and I was drinking a glass of not milk, which was, I'm sure, disappointing. And I spilled.
Wait, what was it?
I don't know. Kool-Aid, probably.
Okay.
And I spilled it, in my lap. And when you spill things in your lap, automatically people think you peed your pants.
Okay. I don't think...
Well, unless they saw you do it.
Right. Well, I think that's what you will automatically think that people will think. But I think, most people, if you're like, oh, no, it's obvious.
Well, at this moment, I realized that in 30 minutes, I have to go on stage and walk across the bridge to cross over.
Right.
And so my mother frantically drove home to get me another pair of pants. And then I switched, and I walked across the bridge, and no one knew.
Wow.
That's how...
Until now, everyone knows.
Yeah, that's true. So I didn't pee my pants. I'm sure there's a picture out there, because I'm sure my mom took a picture or something. I don't know.
What, because she wants to embarrass
you? Yeah, she's like, in 25 years, we're going to post this and embarrass everybody.
Oh, my gosh.
So, yeah. Anyways, that was my most embarrassing. Like I said, I'm sure I've been embarrassed since then, but...
I mean, if not, good for you.
I just don't care anymore.
Right. What is your favorite snack at the trading post?
This one's easy.
Okay.
If it was drink, it'd be a slushie, obviously. Specifically, the mermaid slushie is the best flavor. We've had this discussion.
Right.
But snack is Reese's Cups.
Reese's Cups?
Yeah.
Those are good.
Yeah, those are my favorite of all time, outside of trading post as well. Those are my favorite snack.
It's a solid choice.
Yeah.
I love Reese's.
That one's easy.
Yeah. All right, Hayden, if you could have any superpower, what would you choose?
Okay, so this one has been my answer for literally years.
Okay.
It is.
I'm sure I've heard it before.
It is the same. Yeah, it's the same superpower that I've wanted for since I was in 5th grade, and I came up with it. Which I didn't come up with it, but I modified it to be what I wanted. The ability to freeze time at the snap of a finger, where you can move around and do whatever you want, and then unsnap, and you go back to that moment when you snapped, and everything just be normal. There's no time limit. There's no consequences outside. Obviously, if you're hit somebody in the face, or I don't know. There's rules that you got to follow, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, that is the super ability or superpower I'd like. I also don't know how much that would be helpful in a crime fighting.
Well, you could just freeze time and then put the bad guys in jail and then unfreeze time. Right?
Yeah, well, maybe, I don't know. You could. I assume that you snap and stop everything, and then nothing bad happens because it's all stopped. So you would just be really lonely because you'd be the only one there.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good solution. Can you freeze? Can you have other people also be unfrozen with you, or is it just you?
In my fictional world of
definitely,
stuff,
it is fictional.
Yeah. Then yes,
Hayden actually does have this superpower.
Yeah, you would.
In case you didn't know.
Yeah, you would be able to do that.
What? Take people with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it would be very cool.
Yeah. So you could freeze time around your entire super team and then just go and solve the crime together.
Maybe you just
yeah.
This is genius. If anybody's got that ability, it's kind of like the Iron Man suits. You got that ability, reach out.
Yeah.
That would be
Anthony, we're still waiting on the funding for those Iron Man suits.
Yeah. It's only. We looked into it. It's only $10,000 a suit. So. Put that in the budget.
Okay. Oh, yeah, this is another question. I thought we were done. What is your favorite class that you've taken and or taught?
Okay, so that I've ever taken, I was going to say Indian lore with
John Adams.
John Adams, yeah. That I don't know why, but I remember that as being one of the funner classes. I took...
The real-life president of the United States.
Yeah, I took Mining and Society, I think it was. I don't think it was called that at the time.
Okay.
With Kenneth Mann. That was an interesting class. I enjoyed that one.
Was it geology?
It might have been. I don't know. I just remember we broke up in a rock and looked at it.
Okay.
But I remember that class was really cool. Of course, I enjoy any of the shooting sports classes that I took. So, which I actually, 2 of the shooting sports badges I didn't get until after I was on staff, and I went and took them as a staff member. So anyways, that's beside the point.
Yeah. And what about that you taught?
Oh, well, this one's really easy because I've only taught 2 classes in my entire, this will be my 6th year. I taught archery and I taught tenderfoot at first year. That's the only one I
taught second class.
Oh, yeah, second class. That's one. I taught second class for 2 years, and I've taught archery ever since.
Okay. And you taught bird study once.
All right, well, I don't care. But I definitely enjoyed teaching at first year. That it was an experience that I can't really explain.
Eagle-bound.
Eagle-bound. But you get to see these kids who have never been to a summer camp normally, and at the beginning of the week, they're really stressed out, as anybody would be. And by the end of the week, if you've done your job right, they have enough fun. And there was this one memory that I remember of this kid who at the beginning of the week just didn't want to be there. The entire week, he was like, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. And had a discussion with him, and I was like, why do you want to go home? He's like, I just want my PlayStation. And I was like, okay, well, that's not really a good idea. But the Friday night, his family was leaving, and as they pulled out, they stopped to talk to me. And the kid was like, I just want to stay here. I just want to stay here. And I was like, oh, that's the best memory ever.
Yeah.
So that was a fun time. I enjoyed that. I mean, obviously, I enjoy archery, but I enjoyed that.
Right. Yeah. That is a great memory.
Yeah.
All right, Hayden. Do you have a thought of the day to round us out?
I do indeed have a thought of the day.
Today.
Yeah. Today. Are olives... I think we've talked about this one. Are olives just vegetable grapes?
What?
Okay. So, you have grapes, right?
Yeah.
And they're considered a fruit.
Yes.
But olives are considered vegetables. Well, they're not considered a fruit.
I guess not, but they are technically.
So, are olives the grape of vegetables? These are the questions that need to be answered.
Come back next time to Camp Davy Chronicles for more hard-hitting questions.
Yeah, I think they are.
I mean, sure, if you want. If you want to.
Well, I mean, what are the requirements to be a fruit?
A fruit. I mean, botanically or like food group, like plant science or food nutrition science.
Food nutrition science.
Okay,
because I feel like that one's faster and easier.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. It's much faster and easier with plants. A fruit is just the part of the plant that has the seeds in it.
Okay.
That's it. So olives are fruits technically, but so are like tomatoes and cucumbers.
So what if you take the part that has a seed in it? Because like the middle of an olive is what has a seed in it, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So if you take that out, does it become a vegetable?
No, it's still the fruit, but.
Somebody Google it.
In like food groups, basically a fruit is just whatever it's like sweet that's from a plant. I mean,
olives are sweet.
So yeah, it's a fruit if it's like sweet, and if it's a vegetable if it goes in a salad. Basically, I mean they're kind of dicey.
Olives go in a salad. Listen, I'm just saying that the olives are fruit vegetable or grape vegetables. So
all right, sure. Well, everyone, thank you for listening to this wonderful episode of the Camp Davy Chronicles. If you are not subscribed or whatever, then
Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Yeah, follow our Instagram and stuff. We've got pictures and stuff there.
Yeah, there are indeed pictures of camp.
Yeah, it's like at Camp Davy Chronicles at all the places. And leave comments if you have any other questions that you'd like us to ask people this summer. Obviously, we haven't finalized these yet, but those are some that we might end up asking to some people. Right. And just have a great day today.
Yeah, sign up for staff, sign up for the shootery.
Yes, and not just today, but that it is always a great day to be a scout at Camp Davy Fun.
Bye.